All right, so I've been sitting here doing the doing, which I don't normally do here at Obsessed Garage, because Black Friday we did a zillion orders, around 2,000, and I wanted to give you a sense for how this has gone and what the value proposition is, because I'm assuming we do this a little differently than most, mainly because I'm selling stuff from all over the place. So you know, you kind of look down the shelves, and one thing I didn't want to do when I started this was I don't want to compromise, and I don't want to just sell stuff from like one brand, because it's a lot easier and I have a lot more buying power. The byproduct of that is it becomes a lot harder to pack and ship things. So I wanted to show you a little bit about how we do this, you know, why you would buy it from me rather than Amazon or some other place, because this curation of products, I found out, especially this weekend, is the easy part. The hard part, if you take a look at, we've kind of pulled some of the orders, and I want to show you how we package these. But order, like how do you pack something with a bucket? You know, Mike's putting together another order. Mike's on the media team, but we have everybody packaging. Small order, small order, small order. And these are some of the smaller ones, that each one of these orders takes a lot of sophisticated packaging or putting together. And then if you look at some of these even more sophisticated orders, like look at my dad's putting together here, you know, we have to assemble a hose. We have to, you know, we've got a page of product that we've got to pull, you know, trying to figure out how to fit hoses in with liquid products, and then, you know, Ted's having to assemble wands and things like that. So it's a little bit different. I figure each order probably takes us about, I don't know, 10 minutes to do, you know, from start to finish. And we certainly could be more efficient. There's going to be more efficiency that we can do in the future, but I really wanted to kind of give you a glimpse into what we're up to, what we're doing. I've got, you know, a staff of 10 people working, you know, 12 hours a day to get, you know, a couple thousand orders out. We're probably about halfway through. Today is Wednesday, but we're packaging up these rather sophisticated orders in a very specific way. And a lot of that has been learned through trial and error, you know, sending something and having it not show up properly. So now we have quite a bit of experience in what works and what doesn't from a shipping perspective. So I don't want to show people's names and information here, so I'll keep it off of the screen. But the way that this is structured, the way I have it set up, and this has been, you know, we built this from nothing, from scratch. And again, I'm sure there's more sophisticated ways to do this, but this is the way we have built it. I started the company out of accident in providing T-shirts to people, which is a piece of cake. When I started it, we put, I had a friend of mine from church that helped me build the website, and another friend from church that helped do the fulfilling of the product. So I had some T-shirts made. We were doing it using stamps.com, but we were using ShipStation was the software, and Shopify was the platform. So ShipStation would communicate to Shopify. We were using basically retail UPS and USPS accounts. That eventually turned into me selling pressure washers, which became quite a bit more sophisticated. I had to bring, because I was losing money in the beginning, I had to bring the shirts. I ended up doing the packing and shipping in my living room for a little while. I asked my parents if they would do the shipping. And so I took 3 pallets of shirts that I had, shipped it to their house in Pennsylvania, and they were doing it in their living room, actually my old bedroom. And it was right after that I decided to start selling the Krensler package. So then my dad started assembling. So we were assembling wands, guns, foam cannons, putting quick disconnects together, wrapping with Teflon tape. The concept was that I would create these solutions end to end, so that way I wouldn't have to send people 50 links in order to buy some of this stuff. I had no idea how successful it could become, and even today we're doing a lot out of a very, very little space, very, very efficiently, very organized fashion. So then I transitioned to my parents doing it full-time, me doing it full-time. If you don't know the whole story, check out the, you know, various videos on the channel, the This Is Me series. I talk a lot about this. But we eventually brought the product down here to Florida. My parents quit their jobs. I left my career behind, and we started building this little facility here from scratch. The concept was that we'd have a packing and shipping station like what we have here. It's really, really tight. and very, very organized, very structured. But this is all list of stuff. List of cabinets, list of work tables that we're working off of, including 2 adjustable uplift desks. And we do this really, really in an organized fashion. I'll show you some of the tools that we use here for now. And this works best for us. So after my parents moved down here, we started hiring people. I hired Chris, I hired Kyle, I hired Ted, I hired Bryce, I hired Mike. My parents and I got this started, kind of doing it part-time. And then we eventually, when Chris came on board, we transitioned to, and this is why we have a dual monitor setup, ShipStation on one and Shopify is on the other. So ShipStation became, SKU Labs. We transitioned away from ShipStation to SKU Labs. SKU Labs is our inventory management as well as our shipping platform. It didn't make sense to have a separate shipping platform. You need to have them both on the same platform. It cost me, I think, about $300 a month for that inventory management software. That created a purchase order system, created a shipping and receiving type platform for us to keep track of how we were managing our orders, because the issue was it was hard to keep track of what emails were sent on our rudimentary purchase order process we built. It became too out of control, and so we created a shipping and receiving strategy in order to make sure that works all through the same software platform. So today, we get 2,000 orders in 3.5-4 days, and like I showed you, these orders aren't easy. These aren't like grab some supplements or 2 t-shirts and put them in a bag. It's pick, then the packaging part where we have to assemble boxes. My mom has become an expert in box ordering. We buy all of our packaging from Uline, and we end up with these very, very intricate orders. To do 200 orders in a day with a team of 10 is a pretty tall order to ask. Again, if we were shipping t-shirts, we could do 2,000 orders in a day, but we're shipping these extremely sophisticated packages. It's only noon, and this is the packages we've gotten together. So we have stuff coming in from all over the place. I now have a forklift where we're able to save on the fees that we had to pay in liftgate charges. So my forklift is outside here. We're having to, again, make use with in a really small space. That's a Mosmatic order. It just came of wands and guns to keep that in transit. We're not doing just-in-time inventory, largely because the suppliers can't supply us, and so we're having to manage and stock a lot more inventory than I would like. We have 4 storage units filled to the brim as well, on top of the 12 feet that we have here. So I want to take you through what an order looks like. So what we do, if you order something from Amazon, they would throw this in like a little box and probably have no packing inside it. I've bought many things from Amazon in liquids, and they show up empty. And so what we use, we sell a lot of microfiber towels. That helps with packaging. We tape all the bottles because we found that when the UPS is punting these off the back of the truck, a lot of the liquids would come undone. We've looked into several fancy looking, nice taping solutions, but they don't really work as well. And then we bubble wrap every one of our liquids, because we know that I like to display my bottles, and so I know that most people that buy the bottles don't want them jacked up and bouncing off of each other. We also don't want to use peanuts because it makes such a mess. I dictated I hate that when I get a box. So we wrap everything individually. That helps to keep the bottles from bouncing around. Then we'll use towels to help brace, and then we're using, believe it or not, brown paper on the ground. This Better Pack 555E is a gosh darn workhorse, man. This thing cranks out. How many rolls did we do yesterday? 3? Cranked out 3,000-foot rolls of our Obsessed Garage tape. I actually found that the branded tape is much better than the regular brown tape. It tends to cling better or stick better, and it tends to work better. We do this a lot where we'll take little individual items like this and put it in a little kit, little package, so that people don't lose it. Figured out all these tricks over time of ways that you can mess this up. So we figured out every way possible to mess it up so that we can get it to people as cleanly, as efficiently as possible. And because of the efficiency of the way we have this set up here, we have 2 main packers, we have 2 main pullers, and then rarely, you know, Chris, me, Bryce, Mike will step in, but most of the time we have 4 people that deliver the orders start to finish, and generally we get it out the same day. This time we're probably going to be 4 to 5 days behind orders because of the influx, this massive influx of orders that I had no concept for how it would happen. But you see these orders, pulling that and knowing what fits is the hard part. And so luckily the whole team here, everybody's involved in product creation, as well as you know, like Mike takes photos of the stuff and creates the products in the store, and so Mike knows the products well. Bryce, same story. We have Bryce working on Google Shopping is having an issue. A lot of our images are watermarked. I did that to protect the images, and now that's creating an issue for Google Shopping. Chris is in there managing. He's talking with Paychex representative about our payroll, making sure that's up to the standard. So why is it that you do this 3 tape thinger? You do 3 regular tape runs and then grab.
For more security on them.
It helps keep the box square too. And so generally, like this would be a double wall box. That's another thing. I mean, double wall boxes are rather expensive, but anytime we do a gallon, we found that the only way to get it there intact in one piece is to double wall it. Another thing, if you'll notice, this is a Comet pressure washer. Comet pressure washers come in 2 boxes. It's kind of janky how they have it set up. Originally, there was an issue where if it was all in one box, then the thing would break. And then they started sending in a second box, and that would break. And so what we do is we put it in the 3rd box. So we take there's another box inside of the box. We put bubble wrap in there. We're probably the only place on the planet that's going to get you your Comet almost guaranteed to be there without being broken, whereas we found through lots of trial and error and lots of working with the company that we're gonna have to take it upon ourselves to do it. We also have we do that with Cox hose reels as well. For a while we were having to run a tap, so here's an example. I don't want to show the person's name on the label here, but those are 2 Cox hose reels that we put in a separate box with bubble wrap on all four sides of it, so that it doesn't bounce around and get punted. So we're gonna have to make a run over to our storage facilities to grab some extra stock. But we've been moving through this here. We're rolling through tons and tons of rip-is polishers. We have more in transit, and yeah, this is how we do it. This is the value prop. This is the only sale I've ever run, which was Black Friday, because I don't want to devalue this process, the work that we put into this. The product curation, doing it this way means that my margins aren't nearly as good as they could be, because I'm buying products from dozens and dozens of companies rather than 1 or 2. That's one reason why. The other reason why is, we hopefully want to do it better, and I want to be able to continue to invest in that. So that's the story. Thought I'd give you an insight into what we're up against here on this Black Friday monster. That's about 100 orders. We have another roughly 1,200 behind that, so we're working through it. So anyway, if you're watching this and you bought something over Black Friday, just bear with us. We'll get this done. Thanks for the support. We certainly do appreciate it. And we'll have this chaos, I would guess, back in order by the end of the weekend, where we have this, where I have the GT3 RS back in here working on all these parts that I have up on the shelves. But I knew that I was a little devoid of videos, and I was sitting here thinking, man, it'd be kind of cool to show people, how we're doing this. It's very atypical, very hands-on. I want everything unboxed and put on the shelves, which is extremely inefficient, but I want to be able to see it, touch it, feel it, experience it, and I want people to be able to come here as well. So I want people to come. Kyle's spending half of his day giving people tours and helping people buy stuff here. We do have someone coming to pick up a Krensla here later, so I want people to be able to do that forever. I never want to have a retail storefront. I want to have a all hands-on warehouse where you can come in and be a part of it. So Anyway, thanks for watching. As always, stay tuned for more crazy.